Welcome to the last part of this lesson. So this part here will cover the last interface between designers and builders in design build projects, which is design construct for quality performance, and also we'll see which is commissioning here, and also for closeout. So as best practice number 4 in the execution category of DBA best practices, here the design team or the project team should have a focus on commissioning and turnover processes. And that happens from the beginning of the project, not really pushing it to the end. So project closeout here is the completion of the contract and validation of the owner acceptance of the work. And that requires involvement of those parties that are involved in the contract, so they're formally binded by the contract, or those who are outside of the contract but are beneficiary of the project, so like the building inspectors or fire marshals, so those who are making sure also that or have to be involved in the closeout to make sure that the performance of this facility is in compliance with the codes and local requirements. The requirements here of at the end of the contract is substantial completion. So that means that the owner here can use or occupy part or full the full area of the or the full scope of the project. And also the owner's acceptance and occupancy after that. So, so you can have an end or formal end of the contract time by either one of these. Substantiation is the process of validating that the project systems are operating up to the performance requirements. So there should be a commissioning plan. What system need to be tested first and second and third, and by who's the commissioning, who's the one providing the commissioning services, who's reviewing the reports and approving these, and these are requirements for the design builder to provide now warranty to the owner. So after the commissioning, the design builder will now provide warranty to the owner that this is the performance as it stands, satisfying the requirements that you provided and requested, and the warranty that this performance will continue is provided here to the owner. The closeout here planning, which is a very tedious, very intense process at the end of the project, but you start planning for it at the beginning of the project. So you start really paying attention to what are the closeout documents and deliverables I needed. So you start accumulating these over the project. And also paying attention when you get closer to the end of the project, so like 80% completion of the project, you're really now kind of having these closeout coordination meetings and making sure that you'll be able, within this kind of the red zone, this is the like everyone in their toes, making sure that the last stretch, no problems will appear, which is basically the scope creep here. You don't want to more problems appear in your construction at the end, especially now this is where the quality will really pop up or out in the project and issues will show up. So you want to make sure that the scope doesn't experience creep and expansion beyond what this 80% represents. So it's very important to finish really well. Everyone leaves with good impressions, and you have that smooth closeout at the end. But who calls that substantial completion? In design bid build projects, the architect is on the owner's side, and they call it. So they call that substantial completion, and you issue that certificate for it. But now the architect of the record and design engineer of the record are on the design builder side. So who calls for that? It's actually both the owner and the design builder. So they both call for it. Of course, it's for interest of the design builder to have a substantial completion. So kind of initially the design builder or the design of architect of record will call, we have a substantial completion. Owner, please come and confirm that. And then you can have now two of them confirming substantial completion. The punch list here, who's preparing this on the design build team. So it is prepared by the design build team, but it's prepared by the designer of the record or the architect of the record. It's a punch list is an important part of the closeout process here. While you physically finish or close out the project, there is the contract closeout, and we covered these contract requirements for closeout in design bid build. So I'm not going them into details, but there are a lot of similarities between what happens in design build and what happens in design bid build in terms of contractual closeout. And then when you get after you're auditing the performance and commissioning, you get into the warranty period. You want to really have a good closure of the project here. And by having a letter of recommendation, interviews, exit surveys with the owner, so you make sure that they are happy and satisfied. And you need this letter of recommendation because it's important for future projects with the same owner or other owners. So in RFPs or RFQs, they would ask for such letters and such testimony from previous customers. Cost audit here is applicable in case of federally funded projects. And then warranty callbacks. If there are issues with warranty, then you will explain to the owner what's the process for getting back and fixing what is covered by the warranty. So in conclusion here, a successful project will have these attributes here. Very minimal RFIs, everything is running smooth, no change orders, high quality, satisfaction from the customer, no claims, everyone is kind of working together, really showing the team spirit here. You're delivering the project on time, on budget, which is the two main objectives for any construction project. And then once you finish the project, there is the move-in, the warranty, and you have to have a debrief and closure here with review of the lessons learned, with engaging all the team members and the owner's side also. And the main takeaway here, so kind of that's the kind of the finish, closing out the project and also closing that part of the process of delivering a design build project, is that the project closeout starts really from the beginning of the project. You're aware of what's required at this tough period, closing the project. And the rules and responsibilities of everyone in the design build team need to be clear, and resources should be allocated. So in the closeout period, the design builder will hire sufficient workforce and personnel to handle such a workload. It's a collaborative process. You're working now with everyone, making sure that the performance is satisfied through very systematic and organized plan. So that's the end of this part 5 of this lesson, which marks the end of this lesson on design, build, project execution, and closeout. So hopefully kind of we have a good understanding of the amount of effort and resources and commitment that goes into executing design build projects after we learned about procurement. The next lesson, we will learn about risks, liability, and contracts in design build projects. Until then, take care of yourself and those around you.